Welcome back to Gen 42 YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a quick look at Hungry Monkey, a great little game we have here at Gen 42. What is in the box? Some instructions. We're going to get back to those because you'll certainly need those first few times you play. And then we have the decks in here. Let's just separate them out. As ever with Gen 42, these are wonderfully, beautifully designed deck. Some great characters in this one. That little rhino here, Elefante, you know what I mean? The King Lion, Coyote, this kind of little buffalo walrus fella, all sorts of great little characters in here. And as, like I say, as ever with Gen 42 games, game design is always, in my opinion, well up there. Going over to the other deck here, we have some slightly different cards. We have the bean cards. This game is built around the concept of that little cheeky, hungry monkey who's out to get a bean for his dinner. So we've got all these different bean cards here, 3 there, and some ones and some 2s. These are given out at the end. If you're playing multiple games, each time you win a game, you can give these out to denote how people are doing. The other card that we need is this here. This is a bad kitty, and this is a kitty that, depending on how many players are playing in a particular game, this card, which is the same on both sides, will denote the end of one phase of the game and the opening up of the second phase. Let's get into some basic gameplay. How do you first lay out the deck? Who gets what? Let's go. It's pretty simple. Just give these a little bit of shuffle. As ever, I am a master shuffler here. You know, just Master shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. So once, like me, you have expertly shuffled your cards, put the little bad kitty card out there. We need that in a minute. And then we're going to imagine that we're playing with 3 players. Each player needs 3 cards to have in their hand. One. So you can give everyone 3 cards. And then an additional 4 cards that are their table hand, if you like. So put those there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, very good. Here we go, 4. Then you're going to want to lay that deck down there. That's the draw pile, and leave a space next to it for the animal pile. Now, depending on the number of players that you've got, you're going to want to insert this card at the right little place indicated there. So I know we're playing 3, so we're about that high. So we're just going to insert that card in there. Now, phase 1 of the game is playing your open hand, so the cards that you can see, up until the bad kitty card rears its little face there, at which point you are then able to play your table hand. Even though blind, you're now able to play. You don't have to play the cards until then. So let's look at my hand here. What have I got? I've got a 3, an 8 and a 7. Now, every time you play an animal card, let's imagine I play the 3 here. You're going to need to put a card of equal value or higher. So you could play another 3, or if you've got 2 3s or even 3 3s, you'd be able to play that straight on top. Or if you had a 4, 5, etc., a card with a higher value, you'd be able to play that too. First little caveat is a thing called Gang of 4, which is at any point, any 4 identical cards go down. Even if I play 1, this player puts 2 more 3s down, and finally this player puts the final 3 down. That becomes a gang of 4, and that would mean that we would discard the whole of that animal pile and begin again. Gang of 4. Other than that, we just keep playing higher numbers. Oh, sorry, something falling over in the studio. The only other different thing we need to talk about quickly is triggering animal effects. Now, the card I just played here, this little snaky fella, you see it's got underneath the number, it's got this little shield, little emblem there. You'll see other cards with it. Here's the King Tiger has also got under the number this little kind of shield here that indicates that it actually has an effect. So every time you play that card, you can trigger the effect. Now, at first, you're going to need the great little instruction manual. On the back here, where is it? I'm going to find it. Here we go. On the back here, lays out in great detail for you all the different effects that can be triggered, because at first you're not going to have these, obviously, if you're coming to this new, but soon you will. So if I'd have played this little sneaky snake in the middle of gameplay, its effect is I get to peek at any of the face down cards. So for me, I would probably want to peek one of my own cards to see what's in there, because when I get to the second phase of the game, laying these cards, it's going to be of great value when I'm playing these blind to actually know at least one or two of them what value they actually are. Let's imagine someone else had played as a gameplay, they played the King Tiger, and the King Tiger's effect is a discard all. So discard all cards from the animal pile, including the King Tiger, and discard the pile. So that's lots of different effects come on. Yeah, you actually have the Hungry Monkey card as well. Just to look at one more, you can read these when you get the game. But Hungry Monkey card, that effect is you can lay that on anything, and it says treat the Hungry Monkey card as a copy of the card below. There's no card below. Treat it as a copy of the card above. So that when you lay the Hungry Monkey, it can become the card below, and it can take on its value, but also its effect. So basically, you play the first phase of the game, just like that, playing the higher value all the time. You constantly need to keep drawing your card back up to 3. When you lose a hand, you're unable to lay the proper thing, the proper number there. You will obviously also gather cards from the animal pile, increasing your hand above 3. You must always make sure it doesn't go down below 3, but it can obviously, if you keep not being able to play valid cards here, you're going to get that hand up pretty big. You would continue to play all the way until, where is he, this little guy? All the way until you see the bad kitty. Once you see the bad kitty, the cards on the table are now also in play. Obviously, depending on what's gone on in the rounds before, what powers you've triggered, you will know some of the cards. You would have the ability. So one of the abilities in this card here is actually to exchange one of your table cards for one of your hand cards. So you'll know some of the cards you got here. You might have peeked at some other people's cards. So you're going to need to use memory and really recall what's on the table here. But essentially, once the bad kitty card comes up, yeah, you're playing higher numbers. Yeah, you're triggering effects. But now you're also including, even though blindly in most cases, these cards here. First person to discard all their cards, both their hand deck and their table deck, wins the game. If you want to play multiple hands, you can each time someone wins, they can win actually one of these little bean cards denoting how many games they've won: 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, and so on. That is pretty much it. That is Hungry Monkey. What do I like about this game? I love the quick gameplay, the way things can change on a just spin straight away, to having an advantage to being a disadvantage. I love the triggering of these effects. I find that to be just good fun. You know, you just never quite know what's going to happen. I like the fact of having to recall things. I love the design of this game, this kind of kitsch, kind of Indian vibe. Just kind of love the whole thing. Great little game for 2 to 6 players, 8+. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you're going to make it, but a pretty quick game. If you want this is available now on gen42games.com. I'll leave a link in the description. Grab yourself a copy. Great little game, quick to pick up, or hopefully those younger amongst you will pick this up stupid quick, and a great little kind of whiz-bang fun game with lots of character. Love it. Till next time, take care of yourselves. Laters.